What's up, everybody? It's Supersmallchibiwolf here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Clannad. This is a 24-episode anime series, and the first thing I want to talk about are the characters. The characters were amazing, and I loved them all because each one of them has their own personalities and unique charms that makes up my favorite thing about Clannad, which are the characters. The first character I want to talk about is Nagisa. Nagisa, she is a really loving and caring girl. She has such a cheerful and great personality, and I love her design. She was a great friend to Tomoyo, and she would help him out. Even if she has to get him going, she would do her best to try to support him. They also have a great relationship, and I like that Nagisa is a girl that understands the difficult situations that Tomoyo has to go through. Despite having the best family in Clannad, she would do her best to help him out and support him in any way. Also, Nagisa is the best girl of Clannad. The next character I want to talk about is Tomoya. He was a nice-hearted guy that sometimes can be rude or in some moments serious, but he is like this because he has a good heart. And also, one thing I enjoy about Tomoya is he cares for his friends and would call out any issues that he finds troublesome and would be sometimes harsh and judgmental, but Tomoya is still a caring guy that respects and loves his friends, and I like that about him. The next character I want to talk about is Fuko. I love Fuko. Fuko, she was a cute and funny girl that had so much love for starfish. She would make starfish-shaped art and hand it out to her friends and random people as an invitation to her sister's wedding. She likes to chill with her friends, mostly Nagisa and Tomoya, and I like her interactions with Tomoya. They are funny and great. Sometimes she would daydream due to different reasons like misunderstanding or someone expressing their love. She has such a loyal fan base in school that when she does does a what was it, attempts to go out and be around in public, or like having being like school events, for example, they will be there and support her and kind of show their love and support towards her. So that's another thing that I liked about Fuko. She's not just a great person. She's not just a great person herself. She has such a loving fan base that would be there as well for her. So that was pretty interesting that Clannad did that as well. Also, her design is cool, and I love that she has a great relationship between her, Nagisa, and Tomoya. Later on, without spoiling anything, she has a great character development, which made me love her even more. Makes her more interesting, and within, for example, later episodes made it like funny and great and just all out. I love what they did with Fuko later on as well, and it's just all out. Fuko, I love Fuko, man. Fuko is just one of my favorite characters in Clannad, and I'd say she's like, well, I believe the character type she is like a cute character, I believe, or a funny one, comedy relief. So I'd say Fuko is one of my favorite cute and funny characters in the anime. The next character I want to talk about is Yohei, I believe. So Yohei is he was the best friend of Tomoya and a funny, clumsy, and sometimes a ignorant and sometimes disrespectful guy. I like him because he was funny and sometimes stupid. I would say Yohei, he was a funny troublemaker who sometimes, does some weird things, which results in him getting beaten and beat up here and there. But it is justified due to the stupidity that he gets himself into. But a lot of times he does get misbeaten, and yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie, dude, I loved it. Yohei, he is one of my favorite characters in Clannad. He's just funny, great, just like hyped up and wanting love, and yeah, man, he's just basically a mixture of a lot of things, which I love about it. So the next character I want to talk about is Ryo. She was a nice-hearted and shy girl that was talented in telling people's fortunes. She's aware that she can improve, but the moments that show Ryo attempting to perform her talents related in funny and great moments. She is the sister of Kyo, and yeah, man, I'd say It's pretty funny. When I get Kyo next, I'll tell you why. So she's a sister of Kyo, and she likes to read people's fortune and create and tell them over exaggerated outcomes, which I like. She sometimes has difficulties expressing all her feelings, which results in her getting help from her sister Kyo. Now, I love the exaggeration of the fortunes she says to people because it's it's all out crazy. It's like some random over the what was it? Exaggerated stuff and funny and wow. The reactions of people as well helps with the comedy aspect of Kyo's. I mean, Rio's fortune telling. Next character I want to talk about is Kyo. So Kyo, she is a nice girl, a nice and cool girl that was funny, and I like that about her. She's a sister of Rio. She is a strong and powerful fighter who defends her sister, and she is a pretty cool girl. I like this. While Kyo is like this tough girl that would beat up anyone and defend her sister, Rio is more like the gentle and peaceful girl who would be the comedy relief out of the sisters. So that was pretty cool and interesting. I like that about Clannad. Also, yeah, man, I like Kyo. Oh, later on, I'd say Kyo's interested, man, because while besides her, defending her sister and herself from most likely most of the times it's to what was it, Yohei? Yeah, from him. She would later on she gets like this small development where we learn more about her and we get to know more about her and her sister as well. And then Kyo, she gets like this small storyline later on. I'm not going to spoil anything by the way, but later on she gets like yeah, this small side story for herself, which is romantic, and I enjoyed that as well. It was funny, interesting, fun to watch. It kind of gave like a little break from the main storyline, which I liked. And yeah, man, I'd say Gio all out was a really cool person, and I loved her little development and her little, you could say, moments within this. I don't want to try to spoil anything for anyone, so yeah, all out I say Kyo was just great character. Next character I want to talk about is Tomoyo. I mean, Kotomi. Yeah, Kotomi. She was a cute and funny and smart girl. She loves reading, and her reason links to her. I mean, yeah, the reason links to her tragic backstory, which was interesting. I'd say this, man. At first, Kotomi kind of, to be honest, I kind of felt bad, from beginning to end. Looking back at Kotomi, because at first I kind of thought, okay, she's similar to the other girls, and okay, that's not bad. And she has her own little thing. She loves books. She loves reading. Okay, that's understandable. She's the small one in the group. But then we get to know a little bit more about her and her backstory, and then slowly I just liked it. I liked her as a character more. Kind of had more respect and love for her character. So that's the thing I enjoyed about Kotomi, is that she started out as just she's a smart girl and that loves books and here and there, right? A little bit of a quiet girl in anime. But then I was like, oh, we get to know more about her, and then it's like, oh, that's understandable. I enjoy this. I enjoy that we get more information about her as a character, and yeah, that's why I like Kotomi. And the last character I want to talk about is Tomoyo. Tomoyo, yeah, Tomoyo. I like Tomoyo, man. She was a tomboy, and also she was very talented. She was very talented in martial arts. One of my favorite movies that she does is when she beats up Yohei. Yohei, yeah. And I'd say these are the best moments, man. Is when Tomoyo beats up Yohei, which results in like a super kicking craziness, which basically sends him flying in the ways of, for example, Goku fighting in Dragon Ball. So it's like kind of exaggerated, right, in those moments, but it's just great, man. She's cool, she's funny, she's a great tomboy character within this anime, and I love that, her design. She was all out one of my favorite characters. And also, one thing I want to say is I like that she has more of an involvement later on, and she wasn't just forgotten. Uh, within later on, like some characters in other animes would be. So yeah, I love Tomoyo. The other characters, they were pretty cool and funny, and I liked them. But to be honest, the other characters, comparing all of them, I'd say Nagisa's parents are my favorite out of the other side characters that I did not name and give that much into detail. Man, Nagisa's family is just amazing, and holy shit, man, I love it. Her dad is so cool. Her mom is just like cute, just like her daughter, and funny, and wow, man, I love it. Her parents more than the other characters. Now, Tomoya's dad, he was also, he was okay, cool, but man, Nagisa's parents was amazing. So just wanna put that there. Oh, also one more thing, it was interesting to get to know them as well, and when they talk about the backstory later on as well. So with that, moving on. So the first thing I want to talk about besides that is I like how this anime has interesting stuff. For example, Fugo at one part, Fugo teaches us about starfish, and the characters have their own funny motivations and try to do their best. Like for example, Fugo trying her best to make wooden starfish to hand out to people and other animals. Like the pet of it was just some weird funny stuff. Like for example, Fuko tries to hand like Kyo and Wo's pet pig. I forget the name, but the pet pigs. Yeah, I mean pig, one pig. Tries to hand it like a wooden starfish, and as an invitation to her sister's wedding. And that was pretty weird but funny. It's like, I'm being funny. I mean, I'm going to be honest, man. In this anime, Clannad, there's a lot of weird and funny stuff, which I love. Like sometimes some animes kind of fail really bad on it, and I've seen awful ones. But Clannad with Fuko, I love it, man. To be honest, I'd say it's my favorite, parts. That and I know, man, because Lucky Star has many moments that is just great as well. But yeah, man, I love these moments with Fuko. They are funny. Her motivation. Later on, and we get like this little what I believe they call it arc of Fuko, where she's trying to involve other people as well to as a way to invite them to her sister's wedding. And yeah, man, just all of that was just one of my favorite parts of Clannad. So the next thing I want to talk about is the music. The music was great, and I like the music in Clannad. The intro was great. It had a good singer, nice smooth beat in the background, similar to relaxing upbeat classic fighting game music. I'd say, yeah. To be honest, that's in my opinion the best way, and what it reminded me of. That which was nice and peaceful. We get to see Nagisa's favorite up and pawn jumping in the background, and it was nice and cute ending. So the next thing I want to talk about is the story. The story starts with Tomoyo walking through the sakura trees, thinking over his life, and he eventually walks past a girl that is talking to herself and stays due to being interested. He overhears her asking a question, and after answering it, he gets her attention, and they end up walking together and getting to know more about each other. So after spending time with her, his life gets turned around, and throughout the story, they help each other out, meet new people, new friends, and yeah, I like that about Clannad. The story was pretty cool and fun, and to be honest, it was interesting, man. And one thing I enjoyed also about this story is that kind of, well, the background. I like the history behind anime as well, which I'm going to be talking about now. So, Clannad started as a visual novel game, and once it became popular, it got a light novel, then a few mangas, and finally in 2007, a anime series. Also a movie in 2008, Clannad After Story, and a original around 2009. So the history of Clannad, it was interesting. I liked it. And that's something that, Clannad, after watching it, I was so into it, Like before watching it, I kind of saw if there was more into the series, which there is. So, for example, After Story. And yeah, in the future, I will review After Story. So stay tuned for that. It was really cool, see the backgrounds and the backstory behind Clannad, and I like that. So one of my favorite parts in Clannad was on episode 4 in the time period of 1129. And no spoilers. Let me just say, man, I just wanted to give examples of my favorite parts in Clannad. Now, this was a perfect example of, a lot of times, I hear like slice of life animes here and there, and I kind of heard a little bit of Clannad before, not gonna lie. But I'd say all out, I'd say episode 4 is an amazing episode, and all out one of my favorite episodes in Clannad. So within Clannad, it shows us how much love these characters have for their respective interests. For example, Nagisa loves the Dango family, and Fuko loves starfish, and in episode 7 we get to see their argument and debate on which is better. And I love this because it was just great, man. Both of these girls, two of my favorite girls within Clannad, having an argument for their respective love, interests, and the things that they love, and the passion that they show, and just it was a great moment, man. Yeah, because we see Fuko, a girl who is usually shy and nice to certain people, and who is usually shy and kind of has a little bit difficulty showing her expressions, but when it comes to Starfish, she's all out loving. And then we see Nagisa, the cute and nice-hearted girl, go all in defense for the things she loves. So it's like it's just like a different view for these two characters going at it and debating. And then it ends with a successful, it's just satisfying ending, and I loved it. This it really was one of my favorite moments with a Clannad. So the last thing I want to talk about is one more thing. Clannad was way better than I thought it was going to be. Now, don't get me wrong. Clannad, I heard about it before, and not a lot, but I heard about it a little bit, right? And what I could say is that it was really great, man. Like from what I heard, the little bits that I heard about in the past, and from what I expected, it was better than what I expected. And this is what I could say, man. I love the side story with Nagisa and the robot. It was interesting because it gives us, for example, I like this part because it gives us a different story. It was interesting to see what they were doing with it and going where they were going with it. The animation of these scenes were different from the rest of the anime, and I like it because it was different and it helps gives it its own identity within this anime. You know, like while it's similar to how I would say is different segments in other animes, such as for example Lucky Star, right? You see the girls in Lucky Star having fun, and then there's these moments, the segments where it's like a news, like where these two characters having like a news, like I think it's Lucky Time, I believe it's called in Lucky Star. I might be wrong. So that's something I would compare it to. So yeah, I really like these side stories within Clannad. It was interesting, fun to watch, and I liked it. So Clannad, I, what I could say is that I love the characters. I love the music. There were many great moments which I loved. If you haven't watched Clannad, I recommend watching Clannad because it is really one of my favorite animes of all time. Holy shit. Man, I really did love Clannad. The animes that I recommend watching are Todo because it was funny, great, and to be honest, it kind of gave me similar feels here and there at moments, especially when it came to the main protagonists. I kind of saw a little bit similarities, and yeah. And the next anime I want to recommend is Lucky Star because, to be honest, the other characters besides like the main cast kind of reminded me of it. I don't know why, but it kind of gave me like a feeling of how I felt about Lucky Star, to be honest. And while thinking about the animes to recommend, those two animes came to mind more than the other ones, which I try to think about as well, which to recommend. So that's a good thing. So with that being that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye. Tell me in the comments if you like Clannad and what you think about it. Now I'm going to be talking about the spoiler stuff. So 3, 2, 1, let's get into this. So there are two spoilers that I want to talk about, and that's it. The first one is going to be episode 9, where Fuko disappears. The music, kind of, this kind of sucks, to be honest. I know this is going to be a little what was it? A little picky, right? A little picky here and there. But I'm sorry, man. If you're gonna, this is the equivalent of if in the original Final Fantasy VII, which I'm gonna review the remake. I just been busy, but this is like, for example, in the original Final Fantasy VII, okay, not the remake. I don't want to, if Aerith died, and then you see some party music, like for example, the Melody of Happy Suzumiya theme song play, and that moment is like, it doesn't fit. So that's the thing that was like, what is this? It was dumb. So yeah, there was that. And the last spoiler I want to talk about is on episode 18, on the time period of 2051. Now this is when Nagisa is brought back to Clannad and became part of the main characters again, because before she was kind of having her own little thing going on, and then it was left to Moya. Yeah, and then we see him getting closer to Ryo, Kyo, and Tomoyo. We watch as they talk about their crush on Tomoya, and each one of them having their own reasons. And we, long story short, just this, we see so much within these characters, and we get to know more about these characters, and I love it, man. We see how much they like about it. I mean, how much they what was it? They like about it, Tomoya and each other, and then they kind of grow, because before we see just the usual I say is Ryo is kind of hard little bit. For example, Kyo is the one to be a little bit of a, she's like a tsundere defending her little sister, and then now here she's kind of changed to someone who's kind of showing more love and nice warm-hearted side of hers. And then we see her sister, who's usually a little bit shy and normal shy girl in anime, kind of has a reason now to be shy. She has a little bit interest, like in our main protagonist, and it's just all out a great experience. And then we see, for example, we see Tomoya, like this tomboy girl, like that's known for defending girls from idiot guys and kicking them and beating them up. She kind of expresses somewhat of love as well. And we see all three girls kind of having their own reasons, kind of expressing it in their own ways, and I love this, man. It was really cool and great. And I didn't want to put this in a real review because I didn't want to ruin that experience for those who did not watch Clannad and wanted them to kind of gain their own opinions towards it, and not just, oh, you're spoiled. So yeah, so those are the only two spoilers that I wanted to talk about. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, bye.